WW7ATS testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. KD7QKU testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. TX testing. K7OTX testing. Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave 87ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airwaves with fast scan television. We have a repeater located up on Cougar Mountain. We transmit on 70 centimeters. The cross-band repeater puts out images of 1.2 gigahertz. We utilize the CTAC Repeater Association's WW7ATS repeater, 14708, for our voice transmission for our net held on Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. If you wish to find out more about Western Washington Amateur Television Society, go to our homepage, just Google WW7ATS, that's Google WW7ATS. That takes you to our homepage. There you'll see the frequencies we operate on and a little bit about the club. Also there you'll find a link to connect emergency traffic or needs to make a contact on the 08 machine when that's being none. So far checked into the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net is Richard K7ITX, Jim N720, myself Dave K7CYM. Anybody else would like to check into the net this evening? Is what we got. So let's start off with Iran, 87QKU.
Okay, Dave, this is KD7QKU. Good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay. There seemed to be some question about the PL tone, but I guess whatever I'm doing is working fine. Well, let's see. Been quite a few things going on over here. We went yesterday up by Buckley and we got some plants. It was disgusting. We got kind of itty-bitty plants, but I'll probably die before they're big enough to fill the space. It'll take 10 years for them to grow up, I think. So let's see. Our car, the Jeep Cherokee, our new car, is in the shop. The air conditioner wasn't putting out cold air a while back, so I made an appointment taken over today, and they had to order some lines for it or something, so they wanted to keep it, so they brought me home in a courtesy car, and I guess I'll get it tomorrow. We do have an extended warranty on it. Looks like it might cover the lines, I don't know, but I have a feeling the bill is going to be much larger than I really wanted it to be. And let's see, let it drop a second. My wife decided she had to go to the grocery store. Of course, the car's in the shop. So I got the Jeep Liberty out for her to drive, and I let her go with it. We haven't driven it for a year, really. It's full of gas, and I started up driving it every now and then, but I got to thinking after she left, man, I think the tires are low on it, because it hasn't been sitting around. I think the right rear one has a little bit of a slow leak in it. So I'm kind of worried that I sent her out with the tires that might be pretty soft, so I hope everything's okay. And we're just checking her on our cell phones. We can track our family. All right, back to that KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks for that, Ron. Wish her well on her journey with. Let's go to Richard K7ITX in Kent. Hi everybody.
remember the last time there were just 4 people at the net. I mean, no, seriously, this is the smallest group. I can remember maybe a time or two with Chandler, Ron, Dave, and Lee, and then I wouldn't be on video. I'd just check in as a guest, audio only. But boy, that goes back 3 or 4 years anyway. So, geez. Yeah, beautiful weather yesterday, and today in the morning. In the afternoon it wasn't so bad either. But let's see, what day was it? Monday. Monday was a very nice day. So nice that Mika made an escape. Mika actually found a hole in the fence, and I'll be darned if she didn't get through it. And so, I'm looking, where's the cat? I don't see the cat anywhere. I said, oh, brother. So I saw her looking. There's a hawk that lives behind us, and I think she hears the hawk, and she was determined to check it out. And then I could hear the little finches. They don't like Mika one little bit, and there's one, like maybe it's the mama finch, will follow Mika around and give Mika's location away. And I could hear the finch chirping in the back by where the hawk lives. I got my ladder, climbed up to look over the fence, called Mika, and there Mika was. Mika kind of walks over to me, looks up at me as I'm standing on the ladder, and I say, come on, Mika, let's get back in. No, what'd she do? She hightailed it the opposite direction, and bingo, she's headed out to the front of the yard of the house behind me. And so my brother, so it's not like I can just walk over there. It's not like there's a gate or any easy way. I literally had to get in my vehicle, and I'd say you'd have to drive a quarter of a mile at least. Might even be half a mile to get for me to go get her. And anyway, of course, from there she is waiting for me. I just had to make sure I wouldn't run over her as I pull up to the house that's behind ours. So anyway, that's my story. K7ATS, back to net control.
K7ATS. Yeah, let's go to Jim. Jim and Jewel in Covington.
Thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Kind of reminds me of my pets. Initially, I would have thought maybe correlating with my pets, maybe looking for some afternoon delight or something. Until you mentioned this hawk and finches, yeah, I had a cat that was intrigued by birds as well. And my cat would make these sounds, which I think were supposed to be bird sounds. Well, it didn't really sound like a bird. I don't know. I give the credit for trying anyway. But maybe, just maybe, Mika decided to go looking for that bear. I don't know, just a thought. Ron, I don't know, good luck with your Jeep. I have a question because of something that happened to me many years ago. Check the mileage on that Jeep when you get it back. I had one that I let go for repair, and when I got it back, there were like 200-some miles on the thing. It's like, wait a minute. I expected them to test drive it, but my goodness, that was a pretty significant test drive. So, anyway, just food for thought. Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
And 70, and the net acknowledges Wade W7ATS has checked in, and so take it away.
W7ATS, let me catch my breath here. Just got done running for half an hour at 4 miles per hour. That's not my usual pace, so just give me a second. I got to switch over to my video. Alright, well this is W7ATS again here, and looks like my video's coming through over RF. And yeah, just got done do my run. Per my doctor's recommendation, I need to get at least half an hour of something in every day. So, gotta get my weight down. I'm like at 265 now. I gotta get down to about 220. That's my goal this year. If I can get down there, I'd be real happy. Let me see. I didn't get a chance to hear anybody's stories tonight, so I heard the tail end of somebody saying Ron's Jeep might have some issues. I'll comment on the next round. W7ATS back to that.
W7ATS, thanks for joining the net. And for ID, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, 87YM. And let's go to W. This is Dave, 87ZYM in Lake City. Let's see, that's
WW7N.
no audio. Okay. Well, I'm
WW7N, I think you.
that I found. The UV voltage on the bottom side, and they claim that you can get rid of everything with this UV light when it comes on, and it's a real purple glow when it comes on, and it's, if you don't look at it, it won't happen. So, and it has a basic feature: if you turn it up, it turns on. If you turn it down, it will ignite. But the directions that we took to everything takes care of cobra, takes care of bed bugs, takes care of anything in the house that you want to get rid of in 15 seconds. So anyway, I thought I picked it up at Goodwill for next to nothing, so it was kind of interesting. It was all there, all the paperwork came, I don't know, somebody just gave up, I guess, and decided maybe it was really snake oil, but I kept it. What's happening in Lake City? So let's try again.
WW7N, do you copy? Okay, well that's good. Well, anyway, a little late tonight. I got the repeater switched on, but I don't know if someone else was switching it on as well. I heard the tail end of the cat story, and you know the cat's got you trained well when you're doing the Uber thing to pick it up. I think that's pretty amazing.
Richard. That cat really deserves some awards. And Ron, I've known some people who sent other people out with bad brakes and soft tires, but not people they like. That's a different thing. Maybe it's a completely different social group I run with. Anyway, I hope things go well with that. And it is cool that cell phones can track everybody now. You can set it so that you can set a group of people. What I found interesting is the AirTags now. If you have an AirTag with you, and you have an iPhone, and it's not an AirTag that's registered with your phone, it tells you, someone else has put an AirTag on you to track you without your knowledge. But I always kind of wondered, what if you have an Android phone? I guess it doesn't tell you that, right? I'm not sure how that works. But anyway, somebody thinks that one was put on his vehicle because they were tracking his vehicle to steal it, which would be an interesting use for that technology. Well, anyway, this is James WW7, and thanks for the patience earlier. I thought I had fixed something, but apparently I just made it worse. So at least Echo Link seems to work. So with that, let me turn it back to Dave, our net control tonight. Glad you all could make it. WW7. We heard you just fine earlier, Ron.
We'll wait for Ron to see if he can correct that audio problem. Let's go to Richard, G7ITX.
Okay, let's see, it's over, somehow it's on Ron's, switch ground string here. Okay, so anyway, I'm on actually 103.5, PL tone 103.5, for purposes of Echo Link, which, Rich, is by way of email. Oh, okay. Thank you, Wade. All right. Rich had told us that he followed through with Rob's request and moved Echo Link over to Cougar Mountain. So if anyone's talking to us on Cougar Mountain or on Echo Link, the only way he can hear us, from what I understand, is if we're using the PL tone 103.5. So Ron, I'm pretty sure you have it earlier tonight. It seemed like you did. Or maybe you were on 110 and I didn't realize it. Well, anyway, that's all I know. And I could be all wet, for that matter. Let's see, what else was I going to throw out there? I don't know. Mika is just never happy about where she's at. She always wants to get to the other side or outside or down the street or, but yet on the other hand, I don't think she'd be too happy if she saw a coyote or a big owl either. So she's an indoor cat, and if she's outside, we usually stay with her. So anyway, with that, I'll say KD7ZYM, K7YTX, back to that control.
KD7RTX, Richard, oh my gosh, it's time to ID again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine, and I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. So let's go to Tacoma to Wade, W7ITL.
ITL, does anybody copy me?
Coming in clear.
To the, looks like the 103.5 PL town, so, I think I'm going to stay on this one since Echo Line's going to be on the other repeater tonight, so, let's see, I made a few notes. Sounds like people are using AirTags and nefarious use cases of using it to track for criminal activity like vehicle theft and maybe tracking people to do whatever, but that's unfortunate. But it's good that Apple is letting people know when they're being tracked by AirTags that are not theirs. I wonder how sensitive it is if somebody is always near you that has AirTags. Let's see. Mika and not always being happy, that's unfortunate. I guess that's just what cats are sometimes. My elder cat, Matt, is kind of the same way. He's always wanting to go in and out. He's never satisfied being in or out. So, let's see. Anything else I wanted to mention? Or Dave, I saw your bug light or your virus light. I think, did you bring that up last meeting? I guess you got to be careful not to look into the light, or otherwise it can burn your retinas. But I hear those are pretty good. I know the hospital system I work for, they use those. They use a pretty industrial version of that they use to sanitize rooms. All right, well, I'm going to turn it back. I'm still pretty pooped from my workout. This is W7ITL back to net.
W7ITL, wait a minute, let's go to Jet N7QO.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Well, let's see. Yeah, Dave, that light looks pretty cool. Don't know why someone abandoned it. Maybe they decided that wasn't a good idea, perhaps because they have children in the house or maybe pets or something. Dick, coyotes. I have a neighbor here whose cat disappeared one time, and they think a coyote got him. That cat was pretty cool. He was always talkative. But having said that, the poor guy, he could sit in the middle of I'm on a cul-de-sac, he could sit in the middle of the street, and if a car was coming, he wouldn't even look. One day, my neighbor who owns the cat came like this close to running the cat over, and ever since then, the cat was more attentive, but having said that, he stayed inside more. And Wade, Matt there, I think some of them just have a habit has changed, or maybe, I don't know, not to get into the head of a cat, but maybe they just want to see if some other critter showed up and is trying to move in on their territory or something. I don't know, I'm sure it's something like that. It makes perfect sense to the cats, and I'm sure it would make perfect sense to us if we understood, but, well, maybe we'll figure it out one day. maybe we'll all go to heaven and, oh wait a minute, that's dogs that go to heaven. Well, anyway, cats will be there. If dogs will be there, then cats will be there too. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
And 7QO. Let's go on down to James, WW7ATS, wonderful Bellevue.
Okay, well this is fun. I have no idea what's going on. Maybe something really gave up the ghost. I'm on Echo Link right now. So I've tried 103.5 and also 110.9. And other than that, nothing's changed here, but it wasn't very reliable to begin with. So I was having to turn off power, but my latest theory is I had grounding issues. And the power supply is a switching power supply, and I knew if it was plugged into one particular type of filter circuit, it would loop, and suddenly my 13.5 volts would become something like 3.5 volts and stick there. So I had to unplug it out of the filter and plug it directly into the wall, figure that one out. So anyway, yeah, cats are always interesting. I saw a great cartoon during COVID that showed all the dogs at the board of directors table, and the dog at the front was reporting our plan to keep the humans at home has worked extremely well. And there's one cat at the board of directors saying, was my department consulted before this decision was made? So I think dogs loved it when we were home for 2 years nonstop, but I don't know if the cats liked it or not. So I don't know. Maybe cat owners would give me some feedback on that. Well, I guess gave Echo Link a chance to breathe there and see if that works or not. Let's see, the latest on my street is someone is actually hacking the United States Postal Service email service that tracks when important mail is getting delivered to you and then coming to the mailboxes and stealing it according to the U.S. Postal Service schedule. And I said, well, certainly you wouldn't have that system without multiple authentication and great security and all that. And apparently, no, the Postal Service, I've not used it. Any of you that have used it, I'm kind of interested to know how it works. Because what I was told tonight is that I can just suddenly become, say, Wade, for example, and log in and find out when important stuff is being delivered to Wade's house. And I don't understand even how that would work, but if you think about it, a lot of mail drop locations would have multiple people coming and going, like roommate situations and such. So I could see how they might have to take your word for it. But if that's the case, I think it's definitely not a good system to have around. If any of you have heard about this, please let me know. About 1/2 hour, my name is James, WW7N in Northeast Bellevue. I'll go ahead and turn it back to Dave, our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Take it away, Dave.
Thanks for that, James. This is Dave, 87BYM in Lake City. And for Richard, I guess the old story that I heard was a eagle came down and took somebody's little poodle dog away once. So I hope that doesn't happen with your little kitty cat. So, and for weight, I don't think the weight isn't an issue. You just need to grow about 4 inches taller, and then that would make it okay for the weight that you have. And let's see, in this kit that I picked up with the UV light, there was also a smaller one that, as you can, they said you can carry around in your backpack. It's much easier, so you can go out and clean off the keys and wherever you're eating or something, or take care of the keys on your computer, that you've got them all okay. On the underside it says, do not use directly on your eyes or on your skin. Well, I don't know. I've been waving it over my fingers, so I don't know if my fingers still seem to be intact. But who knows? Like I say, I don't know if it's snake oil, if the thing really, really works. But it does glow a nice purple light when it comes on. So that's what I've got to say here. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, let's go up and try Ron again and see if we get the silent treatment or the real sound.
Can you hear me now? So I don't know if can the rest of you hear me? Give me weight is, I guess. All right. Well, I hate it when they switch things around because, you know, I have it programmed in my radio and memory, and now every time I turn my radio on, it won't be programmed, right? I'll have to switch it, so disgusting. So anyway, let's see. So we went to Buckley and we got some plants, and then came home. They were nothing special, kind of little, and I had to plant them, and so I had to go get the bar. The ground here is so heavy. He said, but you do hear me, right? Thumbs up, Dave's. I don't know. Jim's picture. Yeah, he's giving me a thumbs up. Okay. So I had to go get the bar, and I had to, you know, work on those holes in the rocks, really, to get the plants planted. And today my hands are so sore from squeezing onto the bar and the shovel handle that I just had to go take a Tylenol. So let it drop for a second. You maybe have talked about my brother-in-law being in the hospital. So he's been in the hospital since last Thursday, up here in Tacoma, St. Joe's. He has his heart is acting up. Hasn't been good. They did, see what they do. Where you go for growing and put the dye in to make sure that everything's working good. Well, that worked out fine. It was working fine. So then today they were going to do this procedure where they grow up the groin with this little probe, I guess, go through the chambers of the heart and go into the heart where it gets the signal that makes it beat, because that's the problem. Its heart isn't beating right. And so they were going to kill some of the nerves in there electrically to make the heart beat properly. Well, they got him, I guess, down to the surgery, and they were going to do it, and they discovered that he has a blood clot in his heart. So they couldn't do the procedure. So now they have to get rid of the blood clot before they can do anything. So I don't know. He's going to be in the hospital a few more days. Then it sounds like maybe when they get the blood clot cleared up, maybe a month or so before they can go back in and try to do this procedure to get his heart to beat properly. So I don't know what's going on for sure, but I don't like what I hear. It doesn't sound good. So back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU. Let's go on to Richard.
Okay. Well, I think the key to this particular repeater on Cougar Mountain is to key up and take a deep breath. And that's what was going on with you, Ron. You would key up, you'd say something, but then you'd unkey. And so just remember, Ron, with this particular setup, key up and take a deep breath before you start talking. Or don't expect to be able to key up, say something quickly, and unkey. The repeater won't let you do that. Yeah, we hear your carrier, but that's it. You know, we just hear you key up, and we see your lips moving, and then you unkey, and that's that. And then another thing, and James, when it's your turn again, the punchline regarding the cat in the executive boardroom, I totally missed the outcome of what was going to happen to the cat with all the dogs. Because right as you were describing, I guess what I would call the punchline, the repeater ID'd itself right over the top of your voice. So never did hit, and I was waiting on bated breath. So anyway, so I'm going to send it back to net control because like I say, I'm waiting on bated breath. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, let's go to Wade W7ITL in Tacoma.
W7ITL here in Tacoma. I had to wait a few seconds because I forgot that the other repeater takes a while to start transmitting. Let's see, so many good stories and unfortunate stories. Ronald, go ahead and comment. I didn't hear which family member you said that was having the heart issue. I don't know if you said that was your brother-in-law or if that was your son-in-law. But hopefully I'm praying for him, and then hopefully he gets that clot removed, and then he can get that second surgery to get his heartbeat corrected. Yeah, I definitely prayers and everybody's okay later. But let's see, anything else I wanted to comment about? I'm starting to feel better now after my little rest here after working out. Yeah, I literally got in my car and I drove out and got to the gym about 35 minutes before the meeting. I needed to get that in there. I'm taking some medication that I have to exercise to actually for it to work. So I got that in, and I'm going to do that at least for the next 7 days every day. Let's see, Dave's comment about the eagle. I didn't know which dog might have gotten swooped up, but yeah, sometimes that happens. Eagles are pretty powerful birds. They can lift a lot of weight. So yeah, cats, small dogs, they can take them out. So with that said, and I'll turn the net back to Dave. Net control. This is W7ITL.
W7ITL, let's go on to Jim in Covington, 7QO.
And 7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, let's see. Jim, I think what you're talking about regarding that postal service is called informed delivery. And there's a way that you can check on what they're going to deliver to you and when it should be. But that may be something else. But all of us could do that. I don't know the details of that. It's just, for me, it's just another thing to do. So I haven't done it. Ron, I wonder if the blood clot may be the problem. I could see how that would interfere with one's heart operating properly. I think it's good that they're not going to go ahead with that procedure and see if his problem has mysteriously disappeared. So I think it's probably a good idea to wait as long as he's under some sort of observation there. And let's see, regarding all of us staying home, would our pets like that or not? I think that's a mixed bag. I have one neighbor whose cat has always been coming over to my place during this virus, and so I think the cat doesn't like my neighbor anymore. But I swear I've never fed the cat. But nevertheless, the cat seems to want to spend more time over on my property than with the owner. So, I don't know. Interesting. All these pets have personalities. Just like us. 87ZYM and 7QO.
And 7QO, let's go to James, WW7ATS.
And one more time here, see if I can hit Cougar.
punchline was the dogs and the cats are at the board meeting, and as I put in the comments there, the dog gives the report as the COVID plan is a successful plan to keep the humans at home, but the cat indignantly asks, was my department consulted before you started doing this? The punchline there is that the cat doesn't like people at home all the time where the dogs love it. This is really getting to be interesting for me because I can actually see, if there wasn't a tree in the way, I could see the lights on the top of the tower at Cougar Mountain. So how come I have to send out, 60 watts to hit that? I mean, I just shouldn't have to, but I don't know what's going on there. So anyway, interesting. This is what makes amateur radio interesting, I suppose, is things like this. I'm going to have to really experiment around with it this week and see if I can figure this out. Okay, now Echo Link says I'm back in. So anyway, I was trying to say prayers for your brother-in-law, Ron. I hope he does well in the hospital and is out soon. It's very interesting right now. The medical industry is 2 years backed up for everything, and I know a lot of people experiencing that right now. So I wish all the best. And if I get more information on the post office thing, I'll let everybody know, because to me this is absurd. If I find this is fact the case, you can get on and spoof anyone's identity to find out what's being delivered at their home. One of the things I was told is that people are actually applying for credit cards, and then when it comes, they can use that same system to see when the application's coming, fill it out, and then actually come there and steal a credit card when it arrives. So I guess the moral of the story here is if you have a normal mailbox, you really need to make sure it's cleaned out immediately after the postman comes and goes. I don't know what other countermeasure there would be. If any of you have ideas, let me know. So this is James, WW7ATS Whiskey Uniform 7 November in Northeast Bellevue. Let me turn it back to Dave on net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society.
WW7ATS, James, thanks for that. This is for ID again, the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. That's on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, 87CYM. So as far as cats, I have a neighbor's cat. The only time I see it is when he comes over to my backyard to deposit his leftovers. I have a nice sandy flower bed in the backyard that he seems, the neighbor cat seems to like. But that's about it. Oh my. And for Ron, oh my gosh. And as I said, for Ron, I hope that everything works out okay for his brother-in-law. And from that, I'll send it back up to Ron, 87QKU.
Thank you very much, Dave, KD7QKU. Well, on my particular TV, everyone's frozen up except Richard. I can see Richard move, but Dave doesn't move, and Wade doesn't move. Jim N7Q doesn't move, and James doesn't move. Their pictures are all frozen. I think Richard moves. He's sitting awful still, but I thought I saw him move. So I suppose I didn't wait long enough after I keyed up, so you probably missed half the conversation. I don't know about these repeaters. It seems to me like the back a little bit. James, it was an ID and right over the top of you again. I missed out on half of what you said. So anyway, what time is it? Well, it's almost over anyway, so we can get on Zoom. Maybe it'll be more pleasant on Zoom. Back to net, KD7QKU.
Washington Amateur Television Society, man, I guess I should take a break in case anybody would like to join us, so I'll do that at this point. Moving on, let's go to Richard, K7ITX.
Okay. Well, yeah, Ron, that's kind of scary about your brother-in-law. Yeah, I hope they get the clot out, and I hope maybe that's all that he needs. We got our own medical issues going on in our family. See, Debbie's mom, we had her call 911 down by your house, Ron. She was had this shortness of breath, and her legs were throbbing, and so he said, "Well, don't monkey around, just call 911." And so whether she's at the hospital at St. Joe's right now, that's a question in our mind. But she has a son and another daughter that lives in Tacoma that can get in touch with her. And hey, Wade, I hear you on this weight thing. Probably even, I bet you even when I was your age, I don't know if I ever hit 265, but I know I hit 260. And I'm pretty sure I'm a lot shorter than you are, so 260 on me was not a very pretty picture. So, it took a while. It took about 10 years, and I don't mean that to be discouraging, because I didn't stay at it. I didn't keep working at getting my weight down continuously for 10 years. It was kind of in 2 or 3 spurts, I guess. That's how I put it, and got it down to. I weighed myself today in 185, so it's a big difference, I'll tell you. I guess that'd be about 75, 80-pound difference, and it made me mad, actually, that I don't know, it's a long story, it's complicated, you know what I'm talking about. It's just, I love, back then, I loved microbrew and grog and party and lots of food and, gluttonous living, kind of like the Roman days. That's what I was all about. So, to each his own. So anyway, you hit me at home, Wade, and brought back memories, and yes, running. That was one thing that really helped me a lot was I got into running half marathons and lots of 10Ks. But ultimately, I hate to admit it, but a lot of it had to do with just it's called counting calories and how do I want to say it? Smaller portions. Smaller portions leads to a smaller stomach. Your stomach will shrink, and smaller meals begin to be more satisfying. And I'll tell you right now, it'll help everything about your life. It helps your blood sugar, it helps your heart, just helps everything. It helps your knees and just your whole body. So you got moral support coming from me, Wade. So good luck and hang in there. So kind of looks like I've gobbled up a lot of time here. KD7ZYM, K7ITX, back to net control. K7ITX, let's go to W7ATS.
It's getting dark out, and I forgot to turn my lights on in my room, so you're seeing me just on the brightness from my LCD screen in front of me, so I apologize if I look a little washed out.
Thanks for the words of encouragement, Richard. Definitely, it's been a struggle, and I think I finally reached that pinnacle where my body says, you can't eat like that no more. Because this last year or so, I think I've gained the most weight I've ever gained in my life in a short period of time. I'm definitely, I'll take your advice with a lot of encouragement, and I'll hopefully can get my weight down to a more manageable and healthy number. Let's see. I didn't write down a lot of notes other than I did want to comment on James' USPS tracking and alerting you of mail that's delivered. I know I have that. I totally forgot that I had it. I actually just logged in just as we were talking about it on the website, and it still works. I've been getting all my pictures of my mail. Another service that will track your packages is UPS. I'm not sure how secure it is, but I don't remember if I had to provide identifying information to get it to notify me when the mail comes to me by UPS. But UPS also alerts me, regardless if I use the UPS website or my party use the UPS website to set up the shipping label. But anything that with my name on it to my address, I get an alert about it on UPS too. So maybe that's what the criminals are doing, is they're taking advantage of people that have never set up the alerting for their UPS, maybe also the USPS. I feel like USPS required me to provide a debit or credit card to verify my identity before they would allow me to set up that monitoring service. So I think that's all I got for this round. Dave, I'll make one more comment. Dave, neighbor cat pooping on your flower beds. I feel like mine told me about my cat doing that. Cat that is doing that. Hold on. Is no longer with me. I think the coyotes might have gotten her. But yep, I hear you about the cat. Cats just go and go where they want. They don't really observe boundaries. They just go and they do their business, unfortunately. All right, well, that's it for me on the WW7ATS. Back to you, Dave.
7 RTL, let's go to Jim in 7 in Cummington.
7 Kilo, thank you, Dave. Well, Wade, good luck. I'll tell you what, this pandemic has really caused a whole lot of problems for a whole lot of people. I know some women have, I don't know, they've taken to maybe more cooking than they used to. I don't know, everyone has changed during this. Some people may have lost weight, some people have gained weight, and other people may have just become grumpy or something. I don't know. So good luck. It's good. It's just going to take a while. Hang in there. Dave, I was just thinking your neighbor's cat is, I don't know, maybe trying to give you something, a little, well, you know, make your garden grow. So that, and that'll make them come around more. And, I don't know. Oh yeah, I think it was Jim, were you saying, there are actually some cats that want you to stay home. I have two different friends.
KK7BNE.
What, their cats, both of them made a mess of their house. It seemed like they wanted to urinate all over the house, and I think
A7B
I don't know. Anyway, back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, let's go to James, WU7N in Bellevue.
Hey Dave, thank you. I saw KK7DNE, or K7DNE, I'm not sure what that call sign was, but anyway, somebody tried on Echo Link, so if you want, try again. We welcome everybody on the net, of course. Well, I don't know if it came through or not, but, maybe the cat's just expressing the opinion. You were in media for a while, so maybe that was it, what was going on there. I'm not sure. Everybody's a critic. Let's see. Thank you for your comments, Wade. I didn't know what kind of authentication was required. With FedEx and UPS, the key to find out where the package is simply the tracking number. That's it. Anybody with a tracking number can track that package. So if regular U.S. mail doesn't have that, then I don't know what they're using for authentication. So I'll have to check on that. If it requires some kind of a credit card authentication, then that would be the authentication to try and make sure that you are you. But then I don't know if you can apply for credit cards and steal the credit card, and then that would be the authentication. So that's kind of a bit of a loop there. Well, anyway, I see we have 4 minutes left. Let me just say that 1.2 gigahertz signal tonight is really coming and going. Right now it's a solid 5 signal, but it's almost gone to unreadable, and nothing's changing here at my end. So I'm assuming it must be pretty windy up on the mountaintop tonight and blowing the antenna around. So this is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. Thank you, everyone, for the patience and the persistence tonight. I'll turn it back to Dave, our net control. Take it away, Dave.
WU7N, this is Dave, KD7CYM again in Lake City. Well, talk about cat stories. I got a big cat story. Early on in my career, I was covering a Barnum and Bailey circus, and I was back behind the backstage, you might say, and there was this big tiger in a cage, and I was with a guy from the circus, and he said, yeah, you can get up close and take a picture. And so I was getting up close, and all of a sudden the cat sort of turned his lump towards the end of the cage where I was trying to take a picture, and then the guy says, I think you better move quickly. And I said, why is that? And all of a sudden the stream comes out of the backside of the cat, wanting to sort of target me. So it missed. Thank God the guy was there to say it was a good time to move. So that happened. And for Wade, I guess being a little bit on the heavy side isn't bad. From everything I've read, it's a good way to shake off a heart attack. If you're a little bit on the heavy side, the body responds to a heart attack much better than being on the thin side. So anyway, good luck with the weight reduction anyway. So with that, let's go up to Ron, 87 QKU.
Ron again, KD7QKU. I guess everybody can hear me. Well, the easiest weight loss that I ever had was we went on the Atkins diet. And you could have protein, in vegetables, no fruit, no milk, no dairy products. So I could barbecue a steak every night, and I could have a salad and all the good stuff. So I didn't even know I was on a diet. But I felt really good, and I actually lost quite a bit of weight. So we stayed on that for about 6 months once. And like I say, it was the easiest diet. I never did feel hungry because I was eating good food. You can have bacon, and you can have butter. You can have, I don't know if you can have butter. Can't remember now. It's a dairy product. But you couldn't have any, yogurt or anything. So I don't know. I thought the Atkins diet really worked good for us. We've never done it again. We did this quite a few years ago, both Joanne and I don't know, like 10 years ago, when the Atkins diet first became popular. But it was a real easy diet to do. So, and I think that, I don't know. So anyway, I think we're out of time. So back to Nat, KD7QKU.
87 GKU, Ron, thanks for that. And yes, the net has to come to an end at this point. We'd like to thank the owners and operators of the 08 machine, the CTAC Repeater Association, for allowing us to use WW7ATS, the 08 machine, for our voice transmissions. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, signing off the net at 9 o'clock. Good evening all.